So in this section, we're going to be creating high converting ad copy with the assets that you've already filled out earlier on in the lesson. So you would have filled out your customer avatar canvas and created the perfect profile for the perfect customer. Then you would have filled out your offer attributes, which we are going to use to amplify your big ideas that speak to your customer's transformation. Now, we're going to be using those actual assets to create high converting ads that eventually you can launch on Facebook and test to see which messaging is resonating with your customer the most and ultimately leading to more sales for your campaign. So you're going to be very familiar with this worksheet by now. If you can remember from earlier, we built out your perfect customer avatar profile, and then we pulled out some big ideas. Another way of thinking about these big ideas, it's just a different angle that you're going to be creating with your ads. So you've pulled those big ideas or those angles from your customer avatar canvas. You've listed them there. I'm trusting that you did that hard work and got that part done. And in the next part on that same worksheet, you flushed out all of your different offer attributes. So you could see on the left here, you have your big ideas from the customer avatar canvas. You have all of your offer attributes listed here in the bottom section. But now in the same worksheet, you're going to see a section all about how to create Facebook ads. So what we're simply going to be doing is we're going to be using the big idea at the heart of the ad. So that's going to be the angle. Often that's the hook of your ad. And then we're going to be flushing out that ad and all of the content with your offer attributes. So when you create a final ad and you launch it on Facebook, at the heart of every ad, there's a big idea that speaks to your customer transformation. And there's additional content that includes offer attributes to amplify your big idea. And when you have an awesome big idea and awesome offer attributes that all work together, guess what's going to happen? You're going to convert more sales and generate more customers. So as we go through this section, I'm going to be assigning you to start creating some of your initial ads to use in your real world campaign. So with the chart here that you're seeing on the right, these are all the components you need to create a Facebook ad. At the very top, in the very first row, it says angle. This part we aren't going to be using in your actual ad. This is just the big idea or the angle that you pulled from your customer avatar canvas. So you're just going to name the ad. You're going to say, this is the angle for this ad that we're creating. The next section is the headline. And you really, really want to create a compelling hook or headline that's going to capture the attention of the customer. And the headline is the part that shows up below the creative. So it shows up below an image or below a video, and it says limited time, 50% off when you buy this item. So it's a direct call to action often, or a hook to draw in your customer segment. It's short, punchy, and catchy. With the body copy, this is the part that shows up above the creative. So this is the part that has the bulkiest piece of text. And with your body copy, you may lead with your big idea or your hook, right? So this is where you would call out your customer segment, speak to that transformational point. And this is also where you would flush out additional offer attributes in the body copy. And remember, as I said earlier, you're not limited to just talking about one offer attribute. You can include multiple. So you could have a body copy that starts with a hook that speaks to the transformation and the big idea. Then you can touch on a brand attribute, an influence attribute, a function attribute, and of course, a transactional attribute as well. With the news feed description, don't spend too much time worrying about this one. This is just a little tiny piece of text that shows up below the headline in an ad, and it doesn't always show up in every type of ad. So if it's on Instagram, often you're not seeing what that is, and you want to keep this one very short and punchy, and you would talk about an offer attribute for this one as well. So you might just say something like limited time, buy before Friday, 50% off, for example, or 100% certified organic cotton, something like that. With the call to action, you always want to include this. Your call to action can be included in your body copy or your headline. And most often we will actually include the call to action in both. So if you're running like a weekend sale, you might have the body copy that ends with a call to action that says weekend sale running to the end of Sunday, shop now, limited quantity, limited supply. You may also include that call to action in the headline. And you just say shop now before the end of Sunday, 20% off, or whatever it may be. And you're going to need to set a button in Facebook that is your call to action. And most often you're going to use the shop now button, but it wouldn't hurt to test different variations. We are all about testing and pivoting towards what is working the best for you and your business. In the last row there, we're talking about creative. So you don't need to worry about this part in this section right now. In the next section, we're going to move on to talk about creative. And we're going to talk about how your creative is going to enhance your entire ad. So for now in this section, remember, we're just writing high converting ad copy. And so you just want to be flushing out with words right now. But later, we're going to be pairing compelling creative to amplify your entire ad so it enhances the entire message of your ad copy. All right, in this section, let's take a look at some real world ads and assess what they are doing for their high converting ad copy. So for these two examples, I've just taken a look at a really well-known D2C brand called Cotton. If anybody has heard of them, they sell cotton goods. So they sell t-shirts and bedding and everything like that. And all I did was just took a look at what ads they're currently running, and I pulled two as an example to explain how they are crafting their high converting ad copy. They're using a big idea to lead the ad with, and they're also stacking up those offer attributes, which gives them a better chance of converting more sales. You'll notice with these examples here that there's a big white space covering up the creative. And that's because I'm going to reveal what the creative is later. Right now, all I want you to do is focus on writing high converting ad copy based on your customer avatar canvas, your customer's transformation, and your offer attributes. So with these two examples, we don't know what the creative looks like. We're just going to look at the copy. The example on the left, the big idea for this ad angle is invest in quality products with a purpose. So this was a Black Friday ad campaign that Cotton ran, and they're really leaning in on brand attributes with this one. So the opening line said, "This Black Friday, invest in quality products with a purpose." That is speaking to the brand narrative. They're speaking to the customer segment who likes to shop ethically and consciously. The next section in this ad, it says, "We're donating 100% of proceeds from every order this Black Friday, up to $250,000 Canadian, towards building schools in Egypt where our cotton is grown." So this is really heavy on brand attributes. They're supporting a cause. They are manufacturing products in Egypt, and guess what? They're giving back to those communities. So this is going to align a lot with people who share similar values. And that's what this ad angle was all about. But you'll also notice that this body copy ends with a line that says, "Plus, we're going to gift you $25 off your next order. Click through for details." So they included a transactional attribute, $25 off your next order. It's giving you a little incentive to act now while supporting a cause. And they're saying click through for details. So there's your call to action right there. Let's jump to the lower section of this ad. You can see where the headline should be is where it says cotton. So they don't have a really long headline there. You'll often see ads that include a call out here, but they've chosen not to. And below the headline where it says cotton, they've chosen to flush out their newsfeed description. And what they're really saying is it's a collection of better basics built to last. They're really, really leaning on function, and they've included wording like ethically sourced. So anytime they're creating copy, they're often including brand attributes. So it's okay to do both in one scenario. With the next ad on the right, the big idea and ad angle for the second example is it's a scarcely available best-selling comforter that is now available in 2 new hues. So they're leading with an influence attribute in the body copy. It says sold out not once, not twice, but 4 times. That is basically telling anybody reading this that they have a big customer base who are endorsing this product. So that is an influence attribute. And it's saying this almost always sold out item is not only back, but it's available in 2 new hues, which is a functional attribute. It's the use case. You have more color varieties. If we skip down to the bottom of the ad, ignoring the whited out creative there, again, they are missing a headline in this, and I will be showing you some examples of ads that use headlines soon. But for this one, they've chosen to not use a headline, and they've included a news feed description that says free carbon offset shipping. I love this one because often you'll see in the newsfeed description, somebody will say free shipping over $50. That would be a transactional attribute in of itself, but they've said free carbon offset shipping. So now they're not only doing a transactional attribute, they're including brand attribute by saying that it's carbon offset. So that immediately is another opportunity to add value when speaking to your specific customer segment who they obviously know very well. So there's 2 good examples of an e-commerce business that is writing ads that are centered around a big idea and they're flushed out with multiple offer attributes. And again, I want to remind you, you don't need to just use 1 or 2 offer attributes. You could use all 4 centered around a big idea. So I encourage you now to go to your worksheet and start writing your first few ads that later you're going to test. And in the next section, we're gonna talk all about ad creative. And I'm gonna reveal what Cotton used for creative for both of these ads. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in the next section.